Hey artists, in this video we're going to talk about applying color to our stained glass art project. When you're using the stained glass colors, you want to make sure that you don't overfill the area. We waited for the black leading to completely dry because if your design starts to make a mistake, you can get a Q-tip and wipe up some of the mess. And because the black is dry, it shouldn't get messed up. So for my design, I decided to fill in the wings with the pearlescent color white. Then for the heart, I decided to use the rose pink. Now, one of the things that happens as you're filling in is that you might notice that there are some air bubbles that pop up in your design. You don't want those air bubbles, so you can use the tip of the tool. Any kind of pointy tool will help you pop those little air bubbles. So when you're filling it in, you don't want to be like squeezing and sucking up air. So you want to just try and fill it in delicately and not too much, not too thick, not too thin, so that it really can be a solid piece. So for my design, I just chose to keep it the solid rose pink. In between colors, please wipe the tip with a napkin before putting the cap on. Um, as you're going, you don't want the caps to be filled with the product. So right here, I got a little bit too much, so I used the tool to scrape some off. So just work carefully and slowly. You could always, if you're not in a rush, take a break, let stuff dry in between if you're worried that your hand is going to lean on the part of the design. So again, I started from the middle, focusing on the wings and the bee and the heart, and then I saved the honeycomb design for the very last. And the shade that I used for this was the amber. Kind of looks like brown. Kind of also looks like the color of honey. So as you're working, you might want to rotate your design so it's easier for you to color in the part that is closer to you without touching the surface. So then you can go back in. If you start to see air bubbles pop up, grab a tweezer or a toothpick and just pop the bubbles as you see them. Sometimes as it's drying, more bubbles will come up to the surface. So even when it is drying, you might want to sit with it and just check for air bubbles that you might need to pop as it is drying.